Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to NinjaTrader live afternoon edition for our hot commodity segment with Shy. How you doing, Shy?
How you doing, Jimmy? I'm doing good. Getting a little
Very, very
silly here
good.
at the studio.
Oh man. Well, let's get right into it. We started the day with crude oil. Let's go to crude oil again. What is happening?
All right, so crude oil is kind of a mess today. We spoke a little bit about this earlier. We had that initial big drop in the overnight because Trump had said, I think we're getting close to maybe doing a deal. You probably read the story that Iran has sort of agreed to the terms. And now earlier, before that, the head of Iran's negotiating team was a little more subdued than that, and said he hoped for a more realistic approach from the United States, and he criticized Trump's recent comments about the Islamic Republic. Uh, that said, he said that before Trump. Trump then said we're close to a deal. Markets puked all over themselves, and then the headlines later came out, and basically Iran said they accused. where did let me let me pull that up really fast. I'm sorry, you guys. Give me 1 second. So Tehran said they had not received any proposals from the U.S. for nuclear talks, and they believe in dialogue and they won't surrender to threats. And so we did see a bounce there after those comments were released. So it seems this deal is sort of up in the air still.
It's like a teeter-totter. Is that the right word? Of news, just back and forth. That's crazy. Well, looking at the daily chart, I kind of like this daily chart because we're resting right in this area of support resistance zone that I kind of had before, just a little bit north of $61, give or take, right by a 38% retracement. The VWAP though from these highs, this is the anchored VWAP from the highs of April 2nd. We're right at it right now, right at the 8 EMA, right at the 21 EMA. There's a lot of stuff going on right at this price point. So we'll see if it holds. We do have a little bit of a buyer's wick at the bottom of the daily candle. Stochastics finally just kind of tapped their way into overbought territory on an intraday. Whoa, what happened to my intraday chart here? Really kind of normal as Leo would say, Gaussian distribution on the volume profile here. We have a really nice point of control, 61.63, a little bit above that area that we just talked about on the daily. And so we've traded firmly within the initial balance of the from the on the session, and we're kind of right in the middle there. Baby candles. Don't expect a lot of movement at this point in crude oil. So we'll take a look and see what happens tomorrow. Let's kind of pivot over to gold though, if we can.
Yep. So gold bouncing nicely today. There's not a whole lot of new news that came out necessarily on gold. But we do have a little bit of a weaker dollar today. Obviously, that generally helps gold. We talked about this morning. We also talked about it with Charles Pade. I still think dips will get bought, even if we see this market a little bit lower. That said, a close up here would not be a bad thing.
Yeah, I love the formation of the candle right now. It's a green candle, but the size of the buyer's wick at the bottom is a little bit bigger than the size of the body of the candle, and it looks like we might be closing at the highs here. So that's encouraging. We're right above my area, right at the top of my area of support, which is also good. It's not uncommon to have a couple of dips below it and then to move back up. And that's what we're seeing as well. The moving averages are kind of tangled in love right now with the VWAP. There's not a lot, we need more distance one way or the other between this 8 EMA and the 21 EMA. Not seeing that just yet on a daily, but I do like the fact that the 50 EMA held a support and is still holding a support pretty nicely. I'm just kind of looking at a intraday chart. We're at that Menthor Q 1 day max. It's amazing how sometimes that happens, right? So that's kind of defining the top. We're at the top of the day right now too, which is also potentially bullish for tomorrow. I don't know that we're going to get to R1 today or even that 0 DTE high vol level. We might 32. Let's just round it up to 32.35. We're way a lot of separation between price and the session VWAP right now. So buyers are firmly in control, and they took control after the initial balance in the London session. So that's what's going on gold. Let's shoot over to some commodities, though, Tracy. What's going on in soybeans?
So soybeans, if you remember, we had that big move up, all excited on a China deal, right? Even though it's a 90-day hold again, but all excited on that. What happened today is the soybean crush came in. It beat estimates, 183.8 million barrels versus 169.4 million bushels, sorry, used to crude, last year. Then we also had some news that the biofuel production may be lower than expected. And the administration had sent its proposal for the next round of biofuel blending quotas, and it was not what the market wanted. So initially, we saw a big move in soybean oil and plummeted about 5.7%, and soybeans followed as well with a move down about 2.9%.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is a pretty big candle on the daily chart right now. This is going to be a benchmark candle. We refer to it as a benchmark candle because it's bigger than anything in recent memory. A little bit of a buyer's wick at the bottom. It's right now price is right between that 8 EMA and that 21 EMA. Jimmy Urio would call that the rotation zone, and Bobby. So we'll see if we break out of that one way or the other. The stochastics are kind of sloping back down from that overbought level and starting to converge a little bit. Again, a little bit more data is needed on the daily chart to make that. But keen support right where my crosshairs is, and that's at 1039. So that's we haven't had prices below that for a while in terms of a closed body candle. Intraday, just the sell off happened, and then we got this little bit of a buyer's blip right here. I'm not sure what time the crush report came out, but we did get that little blip up to almost to S3. But we usually don't talk about S3 because it's so far away. But we did blow through it pretty convincingly. Point of control firmly established at 1048 for the soybeans. What time did that report come out, Tracy? Do you know?
The crush report came out. Crush report at 12:35.
Okay, so that probably was not a fact. That's right here. So that doesn't explain this. I don't know. Maybe it was just profit taking. Who knows what that is? But decent kind of attempt anyway. Still well below session VWAP. So soybeans are. We'll keep monitoring this one as well. But a huge move in soybeans with a little bit of a gap you could see up at the top here. Remember, the hours are different for grain, so you're more likely to see gaps sometimes, not always. But that's something to keep in mind. We do it. We'd be remiss not to talk about live hogs.
Yes, we have to because you guys were joking about it the other day. So we are going to talk about it because this chart is rather interesting. It's, not as vertical as live cattle that we looked at the other day, but, it is getting rather expensive. So I'm not really sure where we're seeing food inflation get reduced by any stretch of the imagination. But, with hogs, a lot of the allure right now is because beef prices are so high. Consumers are looking for an alternative protein, and pork happens to be a good one for that. So, unfortunately, higher demand, higher prices. So away we go.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I like bacon on my hamburger, so I need to have both of these sources of protein. There's no substitution for that.
I hear you.
Uh, anyway, I got a weekly chart up. I'll show you a daily. We have a big rollover gap in a daily, so it makes it a little confusing. But right now, again, we have a really nice area of resistance up here, toward the high 101.2. We're driving toward it again. Relative, last 4 days, kind of sideways. Last 4 weeks, I'm sorry, kind of sideways. Benchmark candle is back here, a week of April 11th. But just kind of drilling in a little bit further here. The daily chart, this looks a little bit more bullish. We have this pretty decent sized daily candle here. We're approaching the highs that we saw back in the end of April. And moving averages are starting to arc up. We also have this crossover on the stochastics. Now, because of the gap in the data, that might be a little wonky. But again, I think that's a rollover gap that we're seeing there. And just drilling into an intraday chart, remember that the hours are a little different here for the live cattle and the hogs and those markets. But this kind of really tells a really nice story here. Orderly rally. We lost VWAP in the rearview mirror, right before lunch, and buyers are kind of taking over. I don't even know what kind of volume distribution this is. It's not the greatest one in the whole world, but we are closing toward the high of the day, so that could be bullish for tomorrow as well. All right, all right. That's our hot commodity report. Tracy, thank you.
All right. Thank you. See you guys in the chat, and I will leave you to the boys.
All right, all right. OrderFlow Labs in the house. We have two OrderFlow superstars. We have Leo and Stowe with us today. How you guys doing?
Doing
Good,
great.
Jim. How are you?
Doing pretty good, man. Leo, I don't know if you caught this. I think you did. Stowe is like showing us a peek behind the curtain with his stats for week one, trading on NinjaTrader Live. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, I saw the tweet. I haven't been able to really look at it.
So today was week 2. Actually, Jim, this is Leo's fault that I have to do this, right? It was his idea.
Was it my
No,
idea?
Yeah, you tricked me into this, just like all the other stuff.
but honestly, anybody, if you didn't see this, go back and watch the recording because the way that Stowe analyzed his performance is the way that we all should do it. It was
Oh,
a
thanks,
really
man.
good analysis. You were looking for, chinks in the armor, what you did wrong, what you did right, and why. And you're using that data on the NinjaTrader performance screen to do it. And that's exactly what you should do. And I think if you haven't seen it again, folks, get back in there and look at that recording.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm hoping to explore some cool stuff with this. Where Mike set me up with, got me all hooked up with a brokerage account too. So we're gonna go through and do a cash account, and we can show some broker statements and dig into that side as well. So shout out to Mike if you're listening. Thank you, buddy.
Very awesome. All right, I know Leo's got the mother of all trades going, so we got to talk about that a little bit.
Yes, show the short.
You got
Show
to
it.
show it.
Yeah, so I'm short from basically 520. We had this really choppy morning, really slow, and just broke away from this balance range. You can see it here on the profile, and we just mooned right out of here. The reason that I got into this short is basically it's hard to see now, but on the Delta profile, there was just a boatload of selling up here. You can see it in the Delta candles. So you had this Delta flip up here at the highs, and then also very aggressive selling into this area, which didn't, happen here. Didn't really happen here. But I was just looking at, a very small trade. It's a one lot, just to see if I couldn't catch something. And so I haven't really adjusted the position. I've just kind of ridden it down, because it's just kind of grinding lower. I look for an ad maybe up here in 478, or right here at the anchored VWAP at 450. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty straightforward. Gonna hold this one to the
Wow.
close. Yeah, I think so. What do you think, Stowe? You think I should hold this guy?
Well, we're already in some friendly fire. So if you want to talk
Oh.
about that,
You're long.
I am. Yep. So I
And
was.
by
Oh,
the
go
way,
ahead, Jim.
I'm staying out of this, you guys. So
You don't want to pick a
I'm
side?
out of here. I
All
don't want to
right,
pick a
Jim.
side. I'm staying
We'll
out of
see you
here.
at the
So
close.
good luck, you guys.
All right, peace. I like your spot a lot more. So I was looking for a pullback all day. When I got off of the afternoon stream, I had just gotten done fading these edges and getting, kind of rewarded for it. Not really. It wasn't great. And then I didn't get a pullback that I could get into. I was looking for this 350 to come back and retest, but it just never happened. So we finally started to fall out. And so I was just coming in just like you at the top, just small size, just to try to get a hold of it. And I took 3 shots. They were all wrong.
On the longs, yeah.
Yes. So, yeah, long here, long here, long here.
Where are you
all
long
wrong.
from? 370?
Yeah. So then once we lose this +1 band, that's all right, I got to give up that idea. So I'd wait until at least VWAP to give it a shot. And we did get a reaction off of this 375, which is where a pretty large order happened earlier. So
Where's your
that's
stop?
where I'm at now. Actually, I need to move that up. So I put full size on here and I scaled 3 of them. And then I added one back in here at 422.
If
So
we take out your stop, I'll give away a free hat.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna move my stop to let's see, how low can I put
No,
it?
you have to keep it. You have to keep it where it was. You can't change it now.
Yeah, I actually have to I have to move it up. So 405 has to be 390 on my new average since I put that ad in. All right, chat. You heard it first. If we take out stop, it's hat time, baby.
All right, but for real, everybody should give Tracy and Jim a like and subscribe if you haven't already done that. They did a fantastic job going through the all of the commodities, precious metals, and such.
Yep.
So if you don't like us, give them a like.
Who doesn't like us? Lean
I know a
hogs
lot of
traders,
people.
maybe.
Yeah, I have a lot of people in my comment section on Twitter. What happens? What needs to happen to see Stowe taking a short trade?
Oh, is that a question?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I took a couple this morning. It's just not really something I end up doing in the afternoon ever. But I was all short today. I was short here into the lows. Short. I was short this. This is my only good short of the day. I was short the 30-second Europe opening range when I saw this. I'll zoom in a little bit. When I saw this Delta candle flip. So this is pretty A+. I come into a resistance spot that I was paying attention to, and then I get the candle confirmations. So that was a full size short that I rode all the way down to 280. And then I also tried to press short after we got below the previous day low for the second time. This was some pretty heavy selling that eventually got ran over. So I think I ended up with a mildly green day, but went pretty much 1 for 4 on my full size executions. So that's about how shorting goes for me, frankly.
What we need to happen is for you to profess that you're not going to short again.
I tried that the other day and it didn't work.
Well, you can't do it intentionally, Stowe.
Oh, okay. I have to really feel it. Like I
It
have
has
to
to
really
be a real fear.
Well, if you looked at my stats from today, it's from last week. So it's last Thursday through Tuesday. And it was all the shorts were destroyed. It was terrible. Every short I tried, like all day last Friday, just blew up in my face. But I overtraded and I traded like a garbage fire on Friday. So that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Sometimes you trade like a garbage fire. Sometimes.
Is that a technical term?
Yeah, it's worse than garbage because it's also burning and on fire at the same time. So I think you're coming to get my stop here. Kind of want to add if we get back over this overnight high, though. Do I still have one? I got 2 on right now. I'll put one more on there. And
it's been pretty grindy lately. How have you adjusted to that?
I love the grind, baby. You know me. I love that RVOL to dip below 80s and give me some opportunities to, work into a position. It was too grindy today, though. I couldn't get in. Never pulled back to anywhere. So
It's like that lockout rally where you just kind of grind higher and never really pulls back enough to give you anything worth getting in.
Horrible. But that's okay. I got some laundry folded, so that was cool.
Dad life.
Dad life. Dude, my girls, they wear, I swear they wear like 4 outfits a day. I don't know how they're doing this. It's crazy. I'm like, where is this, where's this coming from? And so to counteract that, I just wear the same sweatpants for, months on end.
It sounds smart.
What did I say when I think when I first started the streaming, the thing I said was the hardest part about it was pretending that I wear different clothes every day.
I wear the same hat every day.
That's true.
We've proven that already. Do you know how many people are begging me to go no hat? I think I'm just going to make it a challenge. I'm never going to not wear a hat.
Never gonna not wear a hat?
Yeah.
I mean, you got your nice headshot with, haircut. People can see your nice haircut if they want to.
Yeah. It's possible there could be hair growing out underneath this hat. I don't know.
Oh, are you in the middle bit right now?
I don't know.
Okay.
Don't change it if it's working. That's
Okay.
right.
You have a thing with the hat. Sometimes if didn't you tell me
gigantic afro? That's funny.
No, that would be awesome. Didn't you once throw your hat across the room and refuse to pick it back up again after a trade?
I have done that more than once.
Yeah. So all we need to get rid of that hat is for something bad to happen to a Leo trade, and then it will live on the other side of his office until he's ready to pick it up again.
I'll just get a different one.
Oh,
well,
my time at sales went.
I think I'm going to hold this trade into the close, but I would like to add to it at some point.
Where's that VWAP at?
It's up here at 48, but there was this absorption right here that we just kind of watched real time as we were bantering back and forth. I think I missed an opportunity there. I think if we get a retest,
that was my plan.
Up into this range, I would definitely add. But yeah, I need a really good opportunity for an ad to put any more risk on this trade.
I kind of like that. Yeah, I kind of see this as like, I don't know. I was trying to figure out the profile. I like your idea of trying to get back. I assume you're trying to get back to the open because that's where point of control is. And I don't know. I'd like them to move the point of control to 440.
I mean, to me, this looks like a failed breakout on the day. On the day.
Yeah.
Underneath that is another hat. That's right.
I don't want to see this 330 again, dude. I just don't. I feel like I have been personally attacked by this price.
What volume setting is on your chart? It's a 600 volume.
Well, it's happening.
But I'll share my liquidity zone study with the NinjaTrader chat in OFL.
Leo?
Yes, sir.
It's hat time.
You got stopped?
I got stopped.
Okay.
I might get back in, but it's still hat time.
Here's the thing. You have to pick the winner.
Oh, cool. Okay.
It's not on me to do that.
Let me think of some criteria for a chat contest. Still hit my line. Yep. Okay. What can I do? What's a good question for the chat, Leo? Like, what's your favorite something? We were talking about favorite trading movie today, by the way. I forgot. I wanted to ask you, what's your favorite trading movie before we get into the hat contest?
Favorite movie?
Favorite trading movie.
Favorite trading movie?
And then we even got into,
I mean, there's
Tra-
only like three, right? Like
well, there's a lot of
Trading
trading
Spaces,
documentaries, though.
there's the Big Short,
Mm-hmm.
there's the Margin Call.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Wolf of Wall Street.
It's not really a trading movie.
Okay, cool. I also considered that to not be a trading movie. Okay, good. So we're on the same page. I think my
Wall
favorite.
Street. Yeah, Wall Street. That's an old school one.
That's true. I didn't even think about that. There's also one called
Limitless? I don't think Limitless is a trading story.
no. There was another one called like a Rogue Trader. Have you ever seen that one?
No.
It's yeah. Everybody was saying that they liked it, but I did not. So
What I
it was not
want
for me.
here's what I need a new show to watch. So everybody has to put their favorite show.
There you go. Okay, what's your favorite new show for Leo to watch? Leo needs a new show.
Please don't say Desperate Housewives, but because my wife is definitely on a Desperate Housewives kick.
I could watch. That's funny. Is that her pregnancy show?
We watched Landman, so no more Landman. Severance. I've heard so many good things about Severance. The
Landman was
Diplomat.
sick.
I am the Diplomat. Should I call myself the Diplomat? See? Gossip Girl. Is the volume profile tool free? No. The volume profile is in the paid package from an OFL perspective, and then obviously Ninja has their own. That's part of the order flow package. Watch Severance. If you don't like it, I will buy you a hat. Okay, that's a deal.
I like this. I like the hat exchange that we've got going on. I've been watching. I watch a lot of TV.
Have you watched Severance?
Yeah, Severance is great.
Okay.
Season 2. I mean, Severance is quite weird. I don't know if you're gonna be into it.
You don't think I will?
I don't know. It's got kind of like sci-fi fantasy stuff to it, and I know that you don't necessarily gravitate towards that.
I can do some sci-fi stuff.
Okay.
Like how sci-fi are we going? Like Matrix?
No, it's more like weird. It's more weird than action sci-fi.
I was a big fan. What was that movie that was on Netflix for a while? With the kids and the underground under the layer. What was that show?
I don't know.
Like the Stranger Things. I was a big fan of Stranger Things.
You know, I was in that.
Yes, exactly.
I was the main character.
That's what somebody said, and I mean they put this side by side, and I was like,
it was pretty good. Yeah, even I had to admit, no one's ever accused me of that before, but that was a pretty good comparison.
How do you deal with divergence between ES and NQ? I haven't looked at ES, so I'm not really sure. The one and only reason I got into this trade was like there was an opportunity for a potential reversion, kind of like a scalp. And that's kind of what got me into the trade, and then it just like fell out. I wasn't really looking for this to be a 100-point move. It just kind of happened.
Yeah, really selling it too. I tried to get back in long, but I'm gonna have to cut it if we get below this 395.
That's where I knew where Stowe was from. Lincoln Lawyer is great. I've seen that. I'm caught up to Lincoln Lawyer. Did Leo trading ES mark the peak in volatility? I'm pretty sure. Nick still wishes he was long from that trade.
You did call the bottom of the volatility.
What happens if I start trading ES again? For real?
I mean, you
we
traded
just
it well.
did like the bit.
I think you should. You had a great trade that day. You had 2 good trades. What am I watching right now? Dope Thief is really good. I really liked it. And then I got sucked into all those westerns, like all the 1836, 1945s. So, you know, they all have numbers. Not all of them were of equal coolness, but
Do
What was
you
that?
guys want to see more ES trading here? Is it just a bunch of NQ traders? Like Merritt's NQ, I've always NQ, XY, and Nick. I think Nick's taken a couple ES trades.
yeah, Nick's traded yes.
Oh
I could
no,
bring the
Brian
Dow
said
back.
no. NQ, NQ, ES, ES. There's some ES traders out there.
Okay.
You guys like pain, huh? RTY, it doesn't exist, Sam. It's fake. RTY is a fake market. You still want the Dow. Why? What's so special about the Dow?
I don't know. I don't know why people. I assume they're making a joke when they ask that.
Do you still have the Dow set up?
No,
Our Bob.
no. I just did the Dow for fun. I try to keep this machine as lean as possible, so, you know, because we're streaming it and stuff. So
Norseman, that's where I draw the line. I will never trade a bond market. Period. OTC penny stocks. I mean, we're trading NQ. Does it get worse than that? Leveraged penny stocks, basically. Micro Bitcoin. That would be fun.
I've
The
thought
thing
about
about when I
that.
last looked at Bitcoin, like it just wasn't enough. It didn't have enough volatility inside of a day
Yeah,
to
it
make
like
it
gets in
worth.
its mood and then does
Right.
crazy volatile things, but it can also just sit there. It's not like a it's not like a 300-point range that you can operate in on the reg.
Right.
Also, last time I looked at it, it felt like there was like zero liquidity too. And maybe that's changed. It's been a long time, so maybe that's changed.
You tried corn and sugar years ago. BTC is fun to trade. MBT is not. I mean, that's the same market, right? Because of the hours, they'll centralize it.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Is that OrderFlow Labs indicators tools? Yeah. I hate the word indicator, so I always refer them as tools.
All right, we held that little note again.
All right, I'll vote on this. It's just still you're just delaying the inevitable. Like,
Possible. I'm getting good scalps off down here though.
yeah, I mean,
And this is my playbook, so I got to take it as long as it's going to hold. We still have the single print. I forget what period that was, but
yeah,
that baby's still
full
intact.
singles. Yep. JD Florida man, VIX is dropping. Okay, will you buy it? Can you make it go up?
Can
I
you
want
buy the
this
VIX?
short to take out Stowe's stop again. Is the giveaway for OFL on the anvil? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean, Kenny.
What's the anvil?
What is the anvil?
Alex says, "Why not trade ES? You can take naps in between orders." I mean, I guess that would be
That's
relaxing.
very true. Yeah. If I buy it more, then it'll drop.
I feel you, bro.
That's
I feel
the trader's dilemma. We need more likes, chat. We need more likes.
Gotta pump them.
Hey, happy 50th birthday, Stowe.
That's rude. It's quite rude.
I meant any giveaway for OFL. We did a lot. We did onboard 10 free monthly memberships.
Yep.
And we're
Those are going
still,
pretty well.
yeah, we're still working with those individuals. I don't want to overload the crew.
If
Don't
this
want to
offer
overload
could
the
just,
crew.
you know, just lift, that would be so sick. I mean, a new high would be appreciated.
Hey, have people ever tried to rip and sell your studies? Yes, they have. That's how you know it's good work. People try to steal it. Maybe
Yeah, if you go
today
to
they sell off.
if you go to ofl.net, that's actually a website that I've set up with. It's got the same. It's got the same indicators, but they're all my color palette choices, which I think are
Oh
better.
God. Turd green and
Puke
brown
yellow.
yellow.
That's a special kind of brown
Oh,
yellow. It doesn't
the
exist in
chat
nature.
was mixed on that. 51% said I should trade ES more.
Have you been using the auto plot study to guide your trend following?
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
yes. I feel like I talk about that every time, we're on, and I don't want to bore you guys with more conversations about balance to imbalance. We had this balance area here, we broke from it, tested it, back tested it. I mean, this is a long time frame, right? This is, for me, a 60-minute chart is pretty far.
Yeah.
But it's good for context. I mean, we have not established a single area of balance yet.
Nope.
We will today, though. So we are establishing a new balance area that will be from let me make sure it's possible. It's
Probably the
possible.
weekly open.
Yeah, it would be from the week Monday's open. Yeah, we'll see. There's very specific rules for value overlapping each other from a day standpoint. And that'll be good information. I mean, we make a new high. What? Who are you? Who's trolling me?
That's right. Thank you. Thank you,
No,
producers.
we're not going to make
Yes.
a new high.
Yes, we absolutely will.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good context because it gives you, just awareness. Like when we break out or break down from a balance, um, it's not like, oh, I'm just long. Obviously I'm short here, but it's not just an automatic, I'm going to go that direction, but it's good to know, kind of where the
Ugh.
market's generally headed.
Gross.
Coming for your stop out again.
Again, yeah.
Okay, but you took profit though, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay. We just want to make sure that you get a little bit of cheese.
Just some hope.
Leo, trade ES. I will trade ES packs. Next, I don't want to say Monday because that's
What's
pretty
this guy doing?
close. Projected prior day high. Yep. You can't trade NQ anymore. Yeah, it's tough. NQ is a gnarly animal.
Yeah.
If you're as crazy as I am, then you get along with it.
Yep. I'm also insane, so it helps.
So you don't have prior day high in your chart, buddy?
Not on
You don't
this
have any
one, no.
levels in your chart?
I have a couple. I don't want to overwhelm the folks. I have
Andrew
it off to the side.
He's mad at you about not having the most important levels on the session.
Oh my gosh, Andrew. I'm sorry. Well, it's just for, streaming purposes. Don't worry. I'm looking at. There's no limit to the amount of MGI that I have on my chart, honestly. So don't stress. I can't buy this again, can I?
Kenny, no. We don't do anything like that. I don't know what to believe anymore. Leo says don't fight the single prince.
This might be one of those things
I
where
have
Leo
to-
has found
look,
his own alpha and then
I have
refuses
to-
to share it with me.
I have to trade the best opportunity that I have in the session. And this was, for me, when I pulled up this, NinjaTrader chart, I was basically kind of forced into this trade. It wasn't, trust me, I know we have single prints, but sometimes, you know, there's a well thought out reasons to, you know, respond to what the market's doing in real time.
Yep. If it's in your playbook, it's in your playbook. And you got to trade it. Otherwise, what's the point in making those plays?
The gray area that's killing me. Here's what I would say. There was a very, very strong shift that occurred up here at these highs. Oh, we're not even looking at my screen. Sorry, guys.
I'll do it. I have it up here too. I mean, we don't have the delta anymore, but
right. But there was, so if you had a delta profile and you looked at it from the leg, from basically the OR breakout, it was nothing but buying. Like there was nothing but blue on this delta profile that you would have seen. Now that it's reset, obviously it's gone. And then all of a sudden, out of kind of nowhere, you know, somebody came in and sold, you know, 300 to 400 lots at that 520 spot. And so for me, it was just kind of a risk to reward, right? Is there good enough risk to reward for that specific trade when I see just like a giga load of sellers come in to sell the market? Yeah, for a scalp, for sure. You know, is it going to rotate down 15, 20 points is kind of my question. And then, you know, kind of ride that for just a quick trade. And then it just happened to go. So it's not like I forced that trade. It just kind of responded to what was happening.
And you even got like, there was a really good pullback here too. So it was good pullback, retest the Delta flip candle. And then that's when you got your confirmation. Then it was all just lower lows after that. And then that new, I'm sure the leg reset here too, which is also a sign.
That's, you know, it's funny when you talked about this yesterday about, you know, the leg to leg, you know, you're in a trend when your leg to leg profile has not reset in the last like 200 points.
Yeah.
There's no counter rotation.
I'd never used that as a pattern recognition thing until I noticed it yesterday or whenever, Tuesday. I don't know, whatever day it was. Time's not real.
How many is a giga load? A lot. It's when all the prior you know, buying was then dwarfed by basically just nothing but selling.
Yeah.
Trevor, my 520 short was stopped at break even. It did come back. It did come back and retested that same area.
That's why I don't like moving stops.
Oh, the video got on the custom leg to leg. Nice.
Yeah,
More
market
than
could
the
take out
amount
those
of
singles.
TV you guys watch. I don't watch much TV. Yeah, I mean, we could go test the that 340 you were talking about, 350. That'd be nice. Dan, you took an ad on the retest? Nice. That's actually the best trade. If you have an anchored VWAP from the high, we got a clean retest of the anchored VWAP.
Oh, what were we making jokes? Yeah, we did. Oh, no, that was before. Oh, that's nice. That's beautiful.
Right here.
Yep, that's A plus. A plus.
This is you know, we kind of joke about the VWAP leg to leg or anchored VWAP. It's really good. Here, if I just draw a box right here, just want to kind of highlight. So if you have an anchored VWAP tool and you kind of anchor to the most recent swing high, swing low, look for these retests for either take profits or ads or even initiating a trade. They're great spots for entry as well as like retest. So like if you were counter to this little move, like if you had bought this little low, I always target these. They're great spots to target too. So you can kind of use it as a kind of a pivot line.
The bid
Pretty
tricked
choppy
me there
this afternoon. Did you get back in?
I did. They stacked up like 80. There's a lot of absorption here at 380, and then
Yep, I see
I
it.
saw the stacking switch, but then offer stacked right back on. So
You can see it right here. We'll zoom in a little bit.
yeah, I want to see what happens with these people that are loading up. This might be one of those. It didn't happen right away, so I need to get out. I was trying to let this absorption exist for a second, but it doesn't seem to be doing that. It's absorbing,
Anchored
but it's
VWAP.
not initiating.
Firmament. Just returned from walking my dog. Did Leo say I want a hat yet? The Stowe has to pick the winner.
It's true.
Firmament. You have to tell us what your favorite show is.
Yeah, Firmament, what's your favorite TV show right now?
To put your bid in for that.
Leo's looking at he needs something.
Fat fish is long with you, Stowe.
I don't the fat fish. I don't recommend doing this. Because I kind of hate this trade, and I've got my finger on Alt F right now to get out of it if I need to.
That's the flatten button.
Yes. Yes, the F stands for flatten and not anything else.
That's my key. I gave it to Stowe.
Yep. Was that enough? 280? Did you get everything that you needed?
What do we think? What do we think we're gonna go into? What genre? Anything? Just not Desperate Housewives or any reality dating shows or anything like that. I'm tired of that stuff. Star
Those
Trek.
things, I don't like that stuff in general, but I was entertained by the first. What was that?
What was that for? Because you took profit?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe. It scared me though. I think the producers just come up with new sounds to see if they can get me to jump when they play them. All right, Firmament. I'm not currently on TV. Oh, so maybe Firmament's like a movie star. But shows I really enjoyed in the past were X-Files, Battlestar Galactica, Star Trek. The Next
I've seen a couple of
Generation,
people mention
Deep
White
Space Nine.
Lotus. Have you seen that?
I didn't get into White Lotus. I tried. It's extremely popular and wins awards, and everyone loves it. And I'm just like, yeah, that didn't mesh with me.
It's not for Stowe.
Not for Stowe.
Gotcha.
It might be like a slow burn, and I just didn't have, I just wasn't in the right mood for it.
And that was a great spot for your long there.
We'll see. I'm still not above the overnight high. I think they're just gonna build. I think neither of us win. I think they're just gonna build this out. Yeah, look at that. This seller is still partying though. I think this is where we're gonna close, somewhere in here. That's how it feels.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
If
I
they
think we're
lose,
gonna get some. I got liquidation vibes. Honestly.
Well, I hate to hear that. I mean, we just smashed back down into this thing again.
Take your profits, Stowe. Job said.
What did Job say?
Trolling Stowe now. Not Job.
Fair enough. Water's warm. All trolls are welcome. I do not discriminate. Friends or enemies, you're all welcome to troll.
Friends or enemies.
Yep.
I was going to troll you yesterday on the morning stream, but I remembered it was your 40th birthday.
Nice. Thank you. I'm glad, your better angels won that for me. Woof.
Mm-hmm. You know what you see.
Yes, I do. Someone is big mad on the offer. Very big mad.
Stowe, did you have any IPAs for your birthday?
I had about 3. We'll see. We'll say I had 3 or so. Had a bunch of really good Old Thunder beers. It's a local place here that is my favorite, and it's since I moved out of the city, it's like 45 minutes away. But I went there on Tuesday and hung out with some of my brewer buddies I haven't seen in forever. So that was cool.
Stowe, do you make pizza or bread only?
I've only really made bread. I don't.
Chad wants to know about your food habits.
Yeah. Well, they're not great, if that's what you're wondering. I hate this trade. This trade sucks.
Stowe wants to puke and the market wants to puke.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly how I feel. Although I did dodge a hangover completely. So that's cool.
Do you make bread with the leftover yeast, brewer's yeast?
The hell with it. I'm sick of this absorber and this offer that's so mad at me. It can go now for you, fat fish, if you're still in there. No, I don't make any food with brewer's yeast. That's not really a great idea. I'm sure you could do it.
Educate me. What's that? What is that?
I mean, brewer's yeast is just yeast, but there's all different kinds of strains, and it does the same thing. It just ferments sugars. But that stuff gives off, flavor profiles that are, I don't know, that I would probably not want in bread. Some yeasts are, engineered to react a certain way with certain kinds of hops. So that's where you get like floral notes, or sometimes some brewers' yeast is like, there's yeast that has been around since like Viking stuff, and they still have that yeast and they use it. So it gets pretty weird. But no, I just use normal yeast or sourdough, a sour starter.
I'm going to condense this down so we can
Glad I got out of that.
get full. Yeah, definitely has that. We're breaking down back into the balance of where we broke out from. So
Yeah.
I think it'll be a little telling what we do right around this, kind of this range here, right on the edge of this, this volume profile.
Yeah.
Where we broke out from. So kind of what I would be looking at. Probably a good long, down here, or a good look at one.
I'd like to see 240s would be a good, like all these highs from the morning have not been retested at all. And that's what I was looking for when I got off my morning stream, was a retest back in this 240 to 45 spot.
Fill the singles. I'm with you. How to get the vertical tape? It's not available on Ninja. It's not really a thing that's possible.
Matt, you can. I didn't see the second half of that question. Matt, you can make leftover bread with the spent grain, is what that's called. The grain that has been through the mash process. It's not super good. Most of that stuff gets given to cows, is what happens. And it's really, really good for them. They love it. I mean, the cows don't come to the brewer and get them themselves. A farmer comes and gets them, and then presumably gives them to the cows.
You guys are getting pretty technical with this yeast stuff.
This is spent grain. It's different than yeast.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, Shreddy, I mean, I'm hoping to just hold this through the close. Like, I want to see this. Not that I think it's going to happen, but I mean, I want to see this trade through the day's range.
It's cutting through like a hot knife right now.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Nope.
I think it's important to remember always, like when you have, areas like this, there's, MGI, we call it like MGI City.
Yeah.
Prior day close, overnight high, prior day high. There was really no response in this area, right? I mean, a little bit maybe. So if the market's really not responding to the standard MGI levels that it does on a normal day, that tells you something about what the participants, what type of participants you may have, right? You may have participants that don't care. You may have other time frame participants that don't watch levels like that. They don't even look at charts. They're just selling because that's what they need to do.
Yeah.
So that's a kind of a clue that you may be working with other time frame participants when the market is not responding to the things that it normally does. The Mag 7 and semis are taking a woofie. Would it be a waffle? Since semis are technically like a waffle.
Here's that
Yeah, I mean,
spot.
this is really, selling.
That's yeah. When Leo was like, you know what you see, this is what he was talking. He knows he knew very well that these longs were in trouble at the minimum, and it just cut right through that. All these highs from earlier.
The OR mid is coming. Yeah. If we get a reaction off of that, I don't even know what I'm going to do. Hate my life.
You want me to take it so that you can feel like you're in both trades at the same time?
No, only if you Venmo me the profits.
All right.
But not the losses.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's getting really nasty.
My word.
Not even a pause.
There was somebody just covered.
Look at all that lift.
Yeah. Let's see if it was real.
Feels temporary. Come on, chat. Sell this thing.
Somebody that guy piled in 208 at 307.
If this bounces here, I'm going to be big mad.
Didn't quite get in where I wanted to, but that's at least below that 307 guy.
Did you get in?
Yeah.
Nice.
Just at 3. It's not great. It's at 319. I'm getting flips. I'm getting my stars.
Yeah, all the things. Yep.
But yeah, seller is selling. So I don't know.
Might be a good bounce trade. Does anyone else agree that NinjaTrader is the best futures broker out here? Ninja is the best futures broker. Stowe, would you agree?
I don't know.
You said it was really easy.
Yeah, it was awesome. And super fast. I got set up. I just sent an email to Mike because we had talked about it before, and he's like, "Yeah, that's awesome. Let me bust that out." And then he had me set up in, I don't know, just like 6 minutes. So,
well, they're better than Schwab.
is Schwab Thinkorswim? Is that what they changed to? Because if you're talking about commissions, Thinkorswim was brutal to learn on. It was like $5 a round trip for micro.
When I started trading futures initially when I was still on Thinkorswim.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't even know commissions were a thing because it was basically free trading on stocks.
Yep.
So I learned that later.
I bet you found out very quickly. Yeah, the bounce. Bounce did not bounce very high, Leo.
It's not bouncing.
I mean, the seller's still stacking on, and now we're inside of the OR, and it looks like we rejected here. So, it looks like we're stuck in this. We're back down in this distribution now.
That was a pathetic bounce. The chat says pathetic.
Yeah.
Where's the meme? Pathetic.
Yeah, if this is going to bounce on this volume, I'd rather have seen it bounce here at the beginning of the profile, as opposed to, deep inside of it. Not great.
A bounce for ants.
Yeah. For now, I got the turn here in a second. We'll see.
Man, it could really get gross into the close.
Yeah.
If they don't hold this here, I think it's pretty nasty.
Let's go, Mr. 330. Come on. Where you at, Mr. Bid? It's a good bid. I'm going to take another one there.
Nice trade.
Thanks. Thank you. Let me see. Locked in 10, 15. Okay, locked in 25. So it's almost free.
It either bounce here or Leo hits a 400-point banger. I would love that. Retesting the IB high right now, 436.
Yep. I freaking hate trading around the IB. Golf clap. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Our spirits break down. Okay. A new high would be encouraging.
A new what?
I don't know. It could work.
Chat. Stowe is losing his mind.
Yeah,
we're going to rally 170 points.
Never know.
Somebody put me out. Somebody put me on with someone else on Thursdays.
You make the schedule, I think. You did this to yourself. Yeah, the offer's back up here. Grover says, Leo also just casually watched this thing slam off the 5-minute OR mid. What is happening?
I'm short. I'm trying to hold this. I want to add to it at some point here. What are you going to give away if my stop gets taken?
If your stop gets taken, yeah, I guess anything really. I'll get the money gun out at that point. Start firing away. Tanya said I could borrow the money gun, by the way.
She did. Nice.
Well, she hasn't said that, but when I ask her, I imagine that she'll say that's fine.
All right, we're going to put a couple more on, so we're now short 407. Got to move my stop. Oops.
I might be being a little picky trying to get this last lot off at the 24-hour VWAP.
64.
Yeah, I might be being a D for a T on that. Let me see. It's kind of fighting with this 50. Let me see. Come on, you turkeys. That's fine. Close enough. Okay. Scaled.
That's a bigger applause, not the golf.
It was a bigger applause. Maybe they have them ranked by
severity, like how good it was. That way, like if you get a golf clap, you should just be quiet.
It was fine. It's just fine. That's funny. All right, I got to go get my kid real fast. I'll be back. Don't take out my stop before I. Yeah, anything could happen.
We're gonna take out your stop while you're gone.
No, hold on.
Remember what happened last time?
Barely.
All right, we'll see you in a minute.
Okay.
All right, chat. I hate this. I hate that I've added to it and it's not turning yet. But I have a little bit of a buffer, so we're just gonna see what's up. 380s are gonna be key. So we're just gonna mark this. It's this little LVN. If you look at this here, this little distribution right here, we broke obviously to the downside. So I want to see that respected. Otherwise, I'll get out of this trade. That's kind of what I'm using this as my out. So we have a bunch of volume right here, a distribution here, a distribution here, and I want to see this hold in this low volume area. Yes, it's still above yesterday's high. Oh man. So YM must be mooning. Nothing happened since yesterday at the open, pretty much. Yeah, yesterday's open, we're pretty much there. We were trading these prices yesterday because I remember shorting this OR mid yesterday from 350s. YM did not break out. All right. Slow news day. Tracy, it's a slow market day too. See if we can't get some selling to resume. Otherwise, I'm going to bail from this trade. Yeah, I mean, the longs on that bounce were definitely a good trade. Stowe, I think Stowe's still in it. YMS flying. All right. Just move your stop. Good hunk of absorption right here. Yeah. I'd like to see more, but it's definitely a little bit. See this, how we see, you know, Delta's pushing with price, and then all of a sudden we start going sideways. And so that we're getting a little bit of that accumulation. So that's a good thing. If I had to guess, the most likely scenario, just kind of based on the way the session's working out, is we close somewhere here in the open, kind of where we opened. Unchanged. Movement in 9 minutes. The 50 algo? Or are you talking about the 45? Sometimes there's a little bit of movement at the quarter before the close. Yeah, 45. Nice. I'll take it. If it goes down, I'll be happy with it. If it goes up, I'm not going to be very happy. But yeah, I mean, we see a lot of days where we kind of have this little breakout pattern. So we have this tight distribution, breakout, and fail. Oh, when that happens, when that failure happens, we often have kind of a return to that prior balance area, that low balance range. So that's kind of just what, you know, the reason I added to the trade, the reason I stayed in it when it started to go, is kind of, I'm looking for this to close down here. It's kind of the idea. The 10-minute rigged might work in your favor. Yeah, that 50 algo is just, you know, kind of, you're just going to get what you're going to get. So we have the initial bounce high right here at 46. That's often a key level, and we can see that you know, we have not really spent much time trading around it. So I don't really think it would be a good thing for those breakout traders back below it. prior day low flush, that'd be great. RIP longs. I mean, the longs have been the play for several weeks now. Are you short, Norseman? I need some team players on my side. Team short. All right, let's go. Got some folks short. That's cool. Yeah, we need somebody to get aggressive again, like they have been all afternoon. That's for sure. The whole chat gets liquidated. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are long from some of this buying that came in. Stowe went to go get the little one. Let's just look on the 60-minute. There's just a little wick up there. All right, this is going to be important. This 80s area. We'll see what happens here. Like to see some sideways action, maybe some wicks. So wicks to show up. I'm gonna put another one on here. Just it's an important spot, and I want to leverage that if we just continue to push lower. It's kind of like the idea is you already have a pretty good position on. You want to try to leverage that if you're not trying to lock in profit or whatever. No reason to not add to this trade at that point where you think it's either going to fail, continue lower, or come like right through it. So it's good to see that. We got 7 minutes till the 50 algo. So this is something I'll do from time to time. Like, if we're at that spot where I'm either wrong or right, add to that position when I have a decent buffer, because I can watch what happens right here and just flatten the trade. So it's kind of like no risk. I'm not adding risk except for unrealized. This right here, no, it's just there's a low volume area right here, and then also we had this little distribution that happened here, and we broke down from it. So I'm just looking at that retest as a potential area of resistance. I hope the 50 algo pushes us down. I mean, I'm short. I want to see that continuation. Now we got to get back to the IB. Yep. You just see the line. Yeah, I just drew it here. I was kind of illustrating like why I was picking this area. There's a little notch here in the profile, and then also from price.
Did you get your add-on, bud?
Yeah, I added here at 380, and then we just kind of pushed away from it. So kind of
That's good.
hoping we get a little more of a push lower.
Still alive.
Also, the 24-hour VWAP. Yeah, we're right here at 64. I'm still alive, and you're still alive.
That's good. That brings me joy.
We have the 50 algo in 6 minutes.
I'm back, Omni. I just had to get my kid from the bus stop. It's always a fun time. I guess somebody puked on the bus today. It was big news.
Oh,
So all the kids were excited to tell me that. Willow's dad, Willow's dad. That's what they yell at me. Yep. It's on the couch. What? Yeah. It's on the couch, you turkey.
Mr. Popular. Still.
Yeah.
You're popular on the Ninja stream. You're popular at the bus stop. Who
So
else doesn't? Who doesn't know you?
The kid just not. The kid she just needs snacks. She's just like, "Where's the Go-Gurt, dude? That's all I'm good for. I'm just the guy that knows where the Go-Gurt is." Ooh, good ad.
Thanks. We'll see if it works.
That keeps selling.
They call him Streamer Boy. Hey, that's my name. You can't. That's not fair.
Yeah, the kids are hilarious in this neighborhood. There's like on my street, there's just like, I don't know, 10 people like all around my kid's age. And on the weekend, like I can field a whole softball team. and we play in my yard. It's really funny. Some of these kids can hit bombs too at like 7.
I think we forgot to ask for people to give us a like. So
please give us some likes.
If you guys are enjoying the show, if you're not enjoying it, give us a like. If you are enjoying it, give us a like. No matter what, give us a like. Make sure you subscribe so that you get notifications when folks go live. People are always asking me like, "Oh, I didn't even know you were on stream. I didn't know you were streaming on NinjaTrader." I'm like, "Yeah, well, I told you, and you always get notifications if you subscribe."
That's true. That's the best reason to subscribe, just so you always see where it's at. But we do talk about it every day on the Twitter. People should know, but there's always one person that didn't hear. That's true. Red Ryan liked for puke on the bus. Yeah. I mean, that's going to be a rough time for that kid to live that down.
That's puke on the bus. Can we get puke in the markets? We got 3 minutes.
Is Firmament still in here? I think I want to give Firmament the hat. I feel like he's our most staunch supporter.
Firmament wins the hat. All right.
The dude is literally always promoting and saying cool stuff. And reminding people to get likes and interacting. And he has been since day one, I think, 2 months ago. So Firmament, if you're in here, I think you follow me on the Twitter. Hit me with a tweet and we'll get you set up to get that hat. Sai, you can't be upset. You won the OFL tools.
Oh, just to be clear, we don't have the hats yet.
Oh, yeah. These are still fictional hats.
They haven't arrived. They're coming. And I don't really want to. 10 points away, and we're.
Yeah. They might be doing that thing.
Sometimes when you go for the banger,
you get banged?
It just doesn't work.
Yeah, I like this retrace now. Close up here at 420 for the homies. That'll be good enough. Another 40 points out of this. Will redeem my relentless VWAP buying.
Put another one up.
Brian Stafford, I think, just referred to the OR mid as the junior G line.
I mean, it is.
That's pretty good. Have you said that before? Did I miss that?
No, no. I
Okay.
mean, it's definitely it qualifies.
Yeah, that's cool. ZD, I'm long at the moment, and Leo is short. I'm just down to a runner. He's still trying to add on this pullback.
Attention traders, it's algo time.
Already?
Yes.
Okay, King.
Oh,
Whoa!
what? What was that?
Oh,
Are you serious?
oh boy.
Oh gosh. Never gonna live that one down. Oh my goodness.
Algo chose violence.
That's very frustrating.
Yeah, that sucks when that happens.
And where did they go? Right to the anchored VWAP.
Yep. Are they still on it?
It's just
I don't
below.
have the view up from the top. They also just kicked right into the previous day high too.
And F for me, Leo. Yeah, I know. I know. That hurt.
Well, yesterday, yeah, it wasn't yesterday. Tuesday, I had a good 50 algo performance, and then I let it come back in my face. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take 85 points. That's plenty. Because it kicked right off of the previous day high.
I sold these 404s.
Yeah. Not bad. Not bad. Tracy says Meta to delay rollout of flagship AI model Behemoth. Wall Street Journal says. Okay. Yeah, Furman, did you see that you won the hat? You are the hat winner. Yes. Yes, you did. You really did. No, winning a hat is not a euphemism, Omni. It's just a hat that will win. Be won. Yeah, Firmament. Let me know what your Twitter ad is, so I can follow you, and then we can just chat in the DM. I'll get your address for Leo. Ooh, it did go right to that view up. That's so annoying.
I took one off. Norseman is looking to get short one hat future any takers. Man. All right, I'm not going to fight this tape. Not going to fight the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Did it work? Did it work? No, it didn't. Sold here, added a couple of times right in here. It looked like it was going to work in the favor. And
we just
50
ran out
algo
of
took
time.
me out.
Yeah.
50 algo, my own trade setup took me out too. That's pretty annoying.
Well, it still works.
But you know, that's what happens sometimes when you press into a trade like that, right?
Yep, absolutely.
I could still be short from, 520 and be fine with whatever happens here, but I decided to press into it. Any order flow hat futures right now is pure spoofing. The real ads, to be honest, are here at Anchor View Up. But we already talked about that.
Yeah, and we can't. Yeah, and you can't. I don't know if we had another hour. That's the hard part about the end of the day. It's just going to be a bunch of stuff sloshing around. Well, I'm
Yeah,
glad
I think
glad I got out of that.
the close will still be interesting because you can carry some of the context of what happened today forward to tomorrow.
Yep.
Kind of we had the failed breakout today. That's kind of the story. And so, if we open down tomorrow, there's possibility for a little bit of a continuation because the market below like the one, I would say anywhere between 240 and 200 to 190. It's pretty weak below that. There's really nothing down there as far as support goes.
Yeah.
So you could carry that information forward. We kind of had a little bit of a failed breakout. And so if we open tomorrow inside of, where we're at right now or lower, that'd be pretty bearish in my opinion for Friday's trade.
God, just get me away from this 330. I'm just tired of looking at it. It looks like we're coming back to it like again, like it's a magnet. My cat's trying to unplug my computer again. This is this fun little game after nap time.
Well, that was exciting, guys.
Was it?
Good. I hope so. I had fun.
Well, sometimes the algo is your friend and sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not, my friend.
Oh, man.
Jim, have you always been a 2-button down guy?
No. That was no. I was sitting outside in the lounge chair for a minute.
I just,
funny.
the chat asked, and I just had to
Chad
ask.
asked, we had to check.
Yeah.
2-button down, 3-button down guy. It's all part, it's all part of show business.
Yeah. Although I did this video on X last night for today's show, and I did it in one take, which I usually muff it up about 10 times. So I did it on one take, and I was like, and then I realized I had the 2-button down thing going. And I was like, should I redo this or not? I let it ride, man.
Yep, I'm glad you did. That was a fun tweet. That's what inspired my idea to do my NinjaTrader road trip to Jim's house eventually. Leo, did I tell you I was going to do that? I think I did.
Yep. You're going to Jim's.
Well, I'm going to like 3 Waffle Houses too, so that's important.
I think
what's the bit with Waffle House?
I assume it has Wi-Fi. It's got pretty good breakfast, and so my plan is just to take a laptop down there, stream all my shows in the morning at Waffle House, and then continue my trip south.
Well, we could build some momentum too. So I think Tracy said she'd be in, and then Chris Trading by Axis, he's like, listen, if there's a party, I could make it happen. So we're building momentum here, man.
Yeah, Leo, you gotta come. You gotta come to the pool party. It's gonna be great.
I'm not sure.
I'll talk him into it, Jim. I'll trick him. I'll get him there.
If we can get Kane coming too, we'll get him to finance the whole operation.
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
Perfect. We do need to finance the operation.
Do we have to talk like British people?
I mean, if we could figure it out, I'd love to, but I still haven't been able to. Tracy's in.
Are you sure? Yeah, Tracy's in. Sweet. All right. Oh, it looks like the whole chat's coming too.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm
my
personally.
God.
Griffin says cheesy eggs, raisin toast, and grits. Yeah, personally, I'm a smothered, covered, and capped guy. If you know, you know.
No idea what you just said.
Me neither, Jim. I'm just as clueless as you right now.
You guys don't know about how to. I mean, those are all adjectives to describe a specific hash brown order: smothered, covered, and capped. All right. Well, I guess I'm taking Jim to Waffle House when I get there first thing, so he can experience that.
Man, there's better places than Waffle House. That's all I'm saying.
It's not about better. It's about, and look, they did close it right in that distribution. Those turkeys. At least they moved
anything yet.
Well, they moved the point of control there.
Those turkeys.
I've been saying turkey a lot. My kid pointed that out. She's like, you call me a turkey a lot. I was like, well,
because
Quit
you are
acting
a
like a
kid.
turkey.
Oh my God. 25 seconds left. The daily candle is a complete and perfect doji almost.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. He had a breakout, basically an attempted breakout and failed.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, this is ominous for tomorrow.
Ding, ding, ding. Now it's ramping. Let's see.
Going all over the place.
Yeah, it's having it's in its feelings right now for sure.
And tomorrow is Friday, right? Holy cat.
Yeah, already. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Close up there.
Yeah.
If we can leave this 300s distribution behind us for now. I mean, it took forever to climb through that. I was trying to climb through it all day on Tuesday and wasn't able to pull it off. So if I can leave this and we can continue higher, that would be nice. I'm not done. I'm not done with longs yet.
Yeah, and tomorrow is expiration, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm wondering how many folks are going to be. We've had four green days in a row, if you want to include today as a green day. So I'm wondering how many folks are going to be like banking profit, selling
That's true.
Friday. But OPEX, who knows where this thing's going to settle?
Yeah.
This rally, pretty impressive at the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
A little 30-point ramp.
All those shorts were maybe just waiting to pull off. I don't know. Never know. But I'm not trading tomorrow. That was enough. That was enough for the week. Come back fresh on Monday. That's my plan. What do you got on your docket tomorrow, Jim?
Well, we do have housing starts and permits. So that's at 8:30 in the morning. That's a Red Star event. We have import-export prices, 8:30. Not quite a Red Star event. Consumer sentiment. And actually, there's a lot of talk about sentiment in general these days. Charles Payne talked about it this morning with Shai. So that might be more important than we think. That's at 10 o'clock. And then Baker Hughes rig count, that's nothing. Treasury International Capital, if you're a geek. So really, it's housing stats and consumer sentiment at 10 o'clock that what I'm going to be doing tomorrow on NinjaTrader Live in the morning. We'll be going at it at bright and early, 8 a.m. Shy Girl, Deli, me, and a whole host of awesome characters as usual.
Awesome, man.
I'll be watching.
Yeah.
Yep, me too.
All right. Well, you guys did great this week. Appreciate your being with us. We're having a great weekend, both of you two.
Yeah,
Thank you,
likewise.
brother.
You too.
You too, man.
Thanks, Jim.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah, for sure. And so we're going to go ahead and sign out. I think we've recapped everything we could recap. So no recap today. We'll be ready for everything first thing in the morning. And so having said all that, folks, remember, most important message of the day, be safe out there. Be good to each other. See you soon.
Thanks, guys.